I'm still new to this whole YouTube live thing. I thought I could choose when I could go live, and instead I accidentally pushed a button, and now we're live. So we're almost at the front of the line. I was hoping to start inside the truck, so I apologize that it's a little early here. We're still walking through the line. This is the very end of the line right here. So while you guys are sitting there, I would appreciate if you guys gave a like to this video, just so it boosts up a little bit.
That is why I asked all of you.
Hello everybody in the chat. Where's everyone watching from?
For the health and safety of everyone, keep your face covering on at all times.
Yeah, I was just granted access to start doing YouTube live videos like 4 or 5 days ago.
Physical distancing between your party and others. Remember to wash your hands frequently throughout your visit, or use the sanitizer dispensing unit provided. Thank you.
Hello everyone. We'll be on a ride in about 2 minutes here probably. Again, I didn't realize that as soon as I rotated the phone, it would go live right away. So I apologize that we went live a little bit earlier than I thought we were going to. In the meantime, give the video a like, share it with your friends. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. So for those of you guys who are curious about how they are doing the queues here at Animal Kingdom, or throughout most of Animal Kingdom, the parks, we got this explained from the Fast Pass line. So the Fast Pass queue is only being used for people who have the disability pass, the disability access pass. Pushed the button too soon, apparently.
Hello everyone, welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. Before we begin trip, you should know that the Australian rules of the Kilimanjaro Wildlife Reserve actually don't control this terrain. Many experienced monks and some tools of this environment. To ensure a safer passenger, you should be in good health and keep your heart on pressure. But, like a man knows, most sickness or other conditions that will be aggravated by this
I guess this one probably won't be on the next one. The one that just pulled up will probably be on the one after that. So how Kilimanjaro Safaris works is every row is separated by a covering.
Bienvenidos a Kilimanjaro Safaris. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados y mantengan
Wouldn't that be in the last row, actually?
brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Y cuida a sus niños. Gracias. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. Before you begin your trip,
No, but it will be on the next one.
Wildlife Reserve has rough and rugged terrain. Many experienced monks certain tools of your safari and nature. To ensure a safe and pleasant trip, you should be in good health and free from high blood pressure, the heart, and neck problems.
6, thank you.
I love the lanyard.
Oh, thanks, sir. So you have the plastic card in here, and they are also separating us every other row too. Which animal is everyone most excited to see?
Hello everyone,
Little one facing forward. Little one facing forward.
Asante San awarded and Twinde. That means, let's go. Jumbo friends, how are you doing today? Awesome, I'm great. My name is Sky. I'm going to be your guide on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. If you look above you, there is an animal spotting guide. We don't usually see all of those animals out here, but we do have some pretty good luck. Now, I do have a few rules. Please remember to stay seated our entire journey. That includes little ones on your laps. They must remain seated on your lap at all times. Don't hold them up baby Simba style or pass them around. And please keep your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the vehicle. We do have some thorny brush out here. Now also just remember to keep your face covering on, fully covering both your mouth and your nose at all times. And we're just waiting for that final all clear, which we now have, so that means we can head on into Harambe Wildlife Reserve. This first area is called the Little Ituri Forest. Now to the right-hand side, there's an okapi all the way to the right. Looks like there's actually two of them over here. So okapis have white stripes on their legs. They kind of look like zebras. Actually the only known relative to the giraffe. Very similar skeletal structure without the long neck, of course. And they were believed to be mythical creatures until 1901. They're very shy, reclusive, and some people just thought that they were too good to be true. They are true. I think they're pretty great. We have an old nickname of the African unicorn. We have a watering hole up here on our left. Sometimes animals like to gather there together, get a drink of water, and we do have a saddle-billed stork in the water. Really cool bird. They stand about 5 feet tall. They have a 9-foot wingspan, and they mate for life. The shape on their bill is shaped like a saddle, a very colorful saddle, which gives them their name. We also have a black rhinoceros against that rock wall to our left. Black rhinos are one of the smaller types of rhinos. They only get about 3,000 pounds. They have a pointed upper prehensile lip, which helps them to grasp leaves off trees and bushes. They can charge about 35 miles per hour. Maybe why a group of rhinos are called a crash. You don't see them in their crashes very often, though. Very solitary type of rhino. Unfortunately, there are less than 5,000 due to poaching. They're poached for their horns, made out of keratin. That's hair and fingernails. Some people believe it has medicinal purposes. It's hair and fingernails. So we are experiencing some animals crossing the road up ahead. Looks like we're able to move up a little bit, but we do have some antelope up here. Migration of antelope. So these reddish orange colored ones that are on both sides of the road, but they have that bright reddish orange coloring. They are bongo. Ghosts of the forest. Very rarely ever heard or seen. It has been considered taboo to poach a bongo for that reddish grease that's on their coat. You could quite literally get caught red-handed. We're gonna let this one finish crossing. We have some relatives over here as well. So we have some tan-colored antelope that are a little further up ahead to the left, which are called greater kudu. Now, bongos, both male and females, have horns on their head, but the greater kudu females do not. Only the males, which are large and corkscrew shaped. We only have females. That looks like they were hanging out in that area. Now we're going to keep on going and head down to the Safi River, home to some aquatic animals. So here we are. I don't see too much on this side of the river. We usually have better luck up ahead. So we'll keep on going, although you could see something in the water here. Now these large whitish gray birds hanging around on the island, those are pink-backed pelicans. During mating season, the skin on their backs turns pink to attract a mate. Their wingspan is about 7 to 9 feet wide. The blackbirds are vultures native to Florida wildlife, but the hippos let them stick around, stand on their backs, eat the dead skin off their backs. Probably feels like a massage. Of course, we do have a Nile hippopotamus to our left in the water. Hippos spend most of their time in the water. They do not know how to swim. They're far too dense, so instead they sink to the very bottom and they tiptoe along the bottom. They get about 5,500 pounds on average, and they can still outrun us on land at 35 miles per hour. They are one of Africa's most dangerous. They don't eat meat, they eat plants. They are herbivores. They're just very territorial. Down below we are going to have some Nile crocodiles. So once again, just remember to stay fully seated back there. I haven't lost anyone to the croc pig yet today, and I'd like to keep it that way. They get about 16 to 18 feet long, and they can jump their body length outside of the water. They have a bite force of about 2,000 pounds per square inch, which can crush the bones of their prey. And they are cold-blooded mammals. They do have to regulate their own body temperature, which they do by holding their mouths wide open and pushing any hot air out of their bodies through their mouths. Let's continue on towards the savannah, where we will spend the most of our time. It has vast open grasslands, really great place for finding some animals. And I can tell we're getting closer just by looking at the trees. They are becoming a little bit more bare. We have an ancient baobab tree up here, which actually doesn't have any leaves at all at the moment. It does stay leafless 9 months out of the year to hold rainwater in that trunk. It can hold up to 10,000 gallons. That'll help itself to survive the drought, but these animals can use this as a drink of water as well. So it is known as the tree of life, or the upside down tree, because of the root-like appearance that its branches have, making it look like it was planted upside down. This is a pretty amazing view of the savannah, this overlook. I can see some animals pretty far off into the distance. We'll try to catch up to them. We do have some just at the bottom here too, like the Hartman mountain zebras. Most docile, non-territorial. They often travel alongside herds of wildebeest, and the larger groups will keep them protected as they live a survival of the fittest type lifestyle. The small tan-colored antelope, those are springbok. They can spring up 6 feet in the air, 13 feet across when they're alarmed. It's called pronking. They can also run between 50 to 60 miles per hour on average, so they are one of the fastest land mammals. I see something up ahead to the left, just behind all these bushes. I know we have a den around here, and sometimes predators like to hang around it. Looks like we have some African wild dogs. Let's get a little closer to the den. Also known as the painted dogs, they have beautiful markings, as unique to them as our fingerprints are to us. But they are not like your pup at home. Most successful hunters on the savannah hunt in packs, chase their prey to the point that it just drops of exhaustion. They're very dangerous. I still think they're pretty cute, but they wouldn't make great pets. To our left-hand side here, laying back in the shade, there are some sable antelope, the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They have spear-like horns pointing backwards to help prevent any attacking predators jumping on their backs. More fight than flight, and they are very territorial. These antelope, there's a female on each side. These tan ones, these are called the Patterson Zealand, largest in the world. The males stand about 6 feet tall at the shoulder, weigh about 2,000 pounds. And we do have a male laying next to that bush to the left in the shade. He's a little bit more of a gray color. To impress these females and attract a mate, they wrap their horns in foliage, kind of like creating their own flower crown. for these hills. It looks like there's something moving towards the top of the hill. It looks like there's a wildebeest up there. I only see like one or two, so there's probably a larger group of them around here that they are a part of. They travel in groups up to 1.5 million of them, and they usually search for better sources of food and water. They are the second largest group of migrating mammals, just behind us humans. Here we found a few of them. They're a little bit closer to us. So they migrate from area to area, searching for better sources of food and water. We have some giraffes up ahead, but also hanging around the palm trees to our right. I can see some large horns. Those belong to the Ankole cattle. Those horns can get up to 8 feet long, but they're not too heavy, only about 15 pounds in total. The structure on the inside is like a honeycomb, which holds blood vessels. It helps to circulate blood throughout their bodies, and that keeps them cool. They're also domesticated and mostly used as a currency, a social status, so that keeps them very well protected in Africa. Here we have a tower on our left. A group of giraffes. These are the Maasai. I can identify them just by looking at their spots. They have a rigid edge around their spots, irregular pattern. These ones get up to 20 feet tall. They're born at about 6 feet tall after a 15-month pregnancy. They eat for 20 hours out of their day, but they only need a total of 30 minutes of sleep every single day. Which they get little power naps that can last between 30 seconds to 5 minutes. They stand up with their eyes wide open, trick predators into thinking they're awake and alert. Let's head on into Monkey Point. Looks like we have some knocked down trees here. Elephants are natural bulldozers. I don't see too much around here just yet. Luckily, these animals can also be found a little further up ahead. Looks like we do have some African elephants all the way in that right corner. Looks like we have two, so maybe they're by just the two, or they could be a part of a larger herd. Now these are African elephants. We are in Africa. The shape of their ears, so literally resemble the shape of the continent. Easy way to remember it. And they are a matriarchal society, which means females are in charge. Females kick the males out once they reach maturity of about 13 to 15 years old. Males travel alone. Sometimes they will join other herds of all males called bachelor herds. So we're going to travel deeper into elephant country. We may see some more up ahead. Looks like we're traveling through some red clay pits. Elephants like to eat the red clay for the minerals. It's kind of like us taking a vitamin. Oh wow, we have some test marks, footprints in the clay. So we could be getting close to some more. Looks like we have some up ahead. Now our conservation research team here at Disney, they will observe these animals and try to find new ways to help them out in the wilds. So from the elephants here, we've learned that they are afraid of bees. And we've used that information to solve a conflict in Kenya between elephants and farmers. Elephants commonly eat and destroy the crops. Farmers have to resort to poaching them. So we've created beehive fences to build around the crops and the farms. The elephants can hear the buzzing over a mile away and stay out of the area. Farmers can sell the honey as an extra crop. And they can even help save the bees. Now, if you want to help out yourself, there are some easy ways that I can suggest. Now, I definitely recommend recycling. Now, not just your papers and plastic, that's good too, but you can also recycle your old, unused, broken electronics and appliances. They contain coltan, which is a mineral mined from the African soil. It creates habitat destruction, limited food source, and even more poaching. So that's a really great way to help out. Sometimes you can find some local recycle bins, or just reach out to some conservation organizations that you support online. Now we have a flamboyance of greater flamingos up here. The latest and tallest of the flamingos. They get their coloring from their diet of brine shrimp containing beta-carotene. That'll turn their feathers pink after about 2 years. They were born in a light gray color, so there are some with some gray feathers. Now there's a few different theories why they might stand on one leg, but it is mostly believed to help regulate body temperature. I don't know if you've ever stuck one leg outside of the covers at night to cool yourself off. Flamingos put one leg up. We have some white rhinoceros up here. These ones are one of the larger types of rhinos. They get about 5,000 pounds. They are very social, as you can tell. Under all that mud, though, they are gray, just like the black rhinoceros. They get their name from a little bit of a miscommunication. In the Afrikaans language, they were called the white rhinos, which means wide. Settlers have mistaken the word for white, but they do have wide jaw lines, upper lips, good for grazing on the grasses. And they love to roll in this mud. For a lot of the animals, but especially the rhinos, mud can act as a natural sunscreen, bug repellent, and it's a great way to stay cool. So they roll right in it. Elephants will commonly throw dirt and mud on their backs to protect their backs from sunburn. Now keep an eye up on these hills. It looks like there's a lot of shaded areas, which could be some good places for some animals to relax and also hide out. Although they can be a little hard to spot up there. Keep an eye out. Looks like we do have a cheetah up here. It's a little hard to see, but if you're looking to the left-hand side, it's all the way to the right of this hill. At the end, laying towards the plants. You can mostly just see its spots. There's actually 2 of them up there. The fastest land mammal, they can get up to 70 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, although they only run for about 30 seconds at a time. Not long distance runners. They are diurnal, so it doesn't look like it, but they are most active during the day. They do their hunting during the day to eliminate competition that they could have at night. And not a lot of big cats can do this, but they do have the ability to purr and meow, kind of like cats that you may have at home. Here we have some Kopi rocks. This is the tallest point on the savannah. Sometimes animals like to use this as an advantage to look over the savannah, so there could be something up there. Although I do see more animals off to the right-hand side ahead. We have some small brown-colored antelope to our right. Those are the bontebok. So bontebok are related to wildebeest. They have beautiful coats. In the right lighting, their coats turn purple. Unfortunately, they are poached for those coats to the point that they are extinct out in the wild, so they're pretty rare to find. Only on zoos and reserves. We're hoping that one day our conservation efforts will pay off and they will be able to go back out in the wild where they belong. They're making a lot of progress. Their numbers are growing. We still need poaching to go down. There are some burrows to the left, although I don't see a whole lot over here just yet. Keep an eye out into those burrows. We have some ostriches coming up ahead. Ostriches are the largest birds, flightless. They can run about 40 miles per hour. They'll use those wings to fan out, and helps them to keep their balance, change direction while they're running really fast. These are females. I can just tell by their coloring. Males are a lot darker. Females are gray and males are black. To our right, you can see some ostrich eggs. They have a little nest over here. Largest of the bird eggs. They get about 3 pounds each. One is the equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs, and really tough too. If you were to stand on one, it probably would not crack, but I don't recommend it. I don't think those ostriches would be too happy. We're going to keep on going and head towards the Migrating Glen. This will be the final area of our journey. It's also the newest addition to the reserve. Sometimes we don't see very many animals here, and at the moment we won't see any at all just due to the renovations being made. So we're just passing through. If you do want to see some more cool animals, the Gorilla Falls exploration trails on your way out. Maharaja Jungle Trek is back in Asia. These are both walking trails where you can see a lot more cool wildlife. And there are some all around the park, around the Tree of Life and Discovery Island. Now, if you want to help out these amazing creatures, then let's have a conversation about conservation. Disney does have its own wildlife conservation fund at any of the shops. You can donate any amount. Disney will match every single cent and give you a really cool pin for it. You can reduce, reuse, recycle. If you've learned any cool facts about animals conservation, share with a friend. Awareness is always the first step. So by talking about the animals, you are helping them out.
Yes, we're going to end this broadcast at the end of the ride here. So thank everyone for joining us once again. Actually, we'll see if we can see any gorillas at the hill. Never mind, hold tight for a minute.
Anything on the trucks? We don't want anything getting back into the animal's habitat. Oh yeah? You are able to just explore. This is the Simba one, the Siamese one. Stay safe out there. Remember to keep your face covering on unless you're stationary eating or drinking. You are allowed to pick it up at Pizza Corn on the other side of the Harambe village. It is considered a safe location and kept very clean, same as the outdoor area across from the amphitheater in Asia. But other than that, please keep it on at all times. And remember to stay hydrated. Any quick service location will provide 3 cups of ice water. And here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It's far too sad, far too final. We say Kwaherini, which means to go well. Go well and enjoy the rest of your day out there in the wild. Thank you.
And we'll wrap up after we'll see if we can see any gorillas up here. There's one that sleeps down here a lot. He's not there.
And none of the gorillas are out this way.
No gorillas right now? Okay,
Nah.
thank you.
They're all hanging out a little bit closer to the blocks on the
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Alright guys, we're going to wrap up our broadcast right there. Thank you everyone for joining us once again. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. And as always, share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. Until next time, we'll see you guys all a little later. Bye-bye.